What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Mark Z Drumcast on this beautiful Friday. I am your host, Mark Zapata. I am the owner and founder of Mark Z Drums. Thank you for joining me today. I want to welcome all of my Twitch people, the Twitch community, for coming on here and saying hello. I want to start out. How do I want to start out? So, I am working on a cover song for one of my requests from the from my Patreon. I gotta wake up here, people. From my Patreon, I'm working on a request from my Patreon. And I just wanted to go through some of the things that I'm doing and kind of show you how I prepare to do a cover song or prepare to go into the studio. A little bit about what my process is when I have a task, right? When I have something to take on, something to tackle musically. Or if it's just me getting in the studio to work on some stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is when I get a project, I get something that I'm working on. What I like to do is I like to listen to the whole thing a few times. I like to get comfortable with the song. I like to understand the structure of it. Verse, chorus, intro, outro, solo, all of that stuff. How the song flows. And by listening to it, I can get to know how the song flows, what's happening in the song. Now, I'm not thinking details right now. I'm not thinking about fills. I'm not thinking about, what's happening on the ride. This is not that point in the process. What I'm doing right now is I am just, like I said, getting an idea of the flow of the song, feeling it, connecting with it, and getting comfortable with it. And that's a lot of listening. Now, when I teach my students and I work with my student bands, they're kind of surprised to hear me say that listening is a big part of learning songs without playing, without even picking up your drumsticks. Listening, putting the headphones in and listening for, again, the flow. Eventually down the road, we'll be listening for the details and things like that as we get to that stage. But listening to the point where hopefully you will be able to, when you do sit down at the drums to play the song, you will be able to play through it without any problems because you are aware of the flow. You're aware of what's happening in the song, where the changes are, where the stops are, things like that. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I identify anything that might be challenging, anything in the song that I may have to put in some extra work on, because there'll be parts of a song that I'm pretty well capable of doing, but there may be parts of the song that I'm not used to playing or something like that, especially if I'm taking requests. I take all kinds of requests, so I get all types of different music. So some of the stuff I may not be used to playing. So at that point, that's where I'm going to find those things, and I'm going to work on those things individually outside of the song, so that when it comes to me playing this particular figure or fill or bass drum beat or whatever it is, I will then be able to kind of jump into it and plug it back into the song. So I'm going to give you a little taste of what's going on here. My co-host Louie is lying down right next to my right foot, my right bass drum pedal, and but he does not like when I play. So I'm going to tap the bass drum lightly to give him an idea. There he goes. To give him an idea, hey, I'm going to start playing soon, so you might want to move if you're uncomfortable. So that's what he's doing now. So I like to give him a little heads up. I don't like to scare him and just kind of start beating on the drums. When I know he comes and lays next to me, I just lightly tap on that bass drum and give him a warning. All right. So this particular song has some double bass feel to it, kind of quick, and it's a pattern that's 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, right? Combination of eighth notes and 16th notes, eighth notes on the front end, and then the last two 16th notes, the and the and it goes something like this. So that time I was alternating right, left, 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 right, left. That's one way to do it, but you may want to stay with the right foot lead if that's more comfortable. I'm going to try that now. Okay, so that's a little taste. You can hear that I'm not quite as comfortable doing the right foot lead all the time. I have to get used to this close-up camera. So I'm exploring different camera angles. We still have the overhead view. Well, not now, but we still have the overhead view. We have the overhead cam is back. Now I have a close-up cam. I want to do a foot cam, a double bass cam, and then some sort of a side angle cam or an up above side angle cam. I have another camera that's showing up pretty soon. That's probably going to be that overhead cam. So we're going to, not the overhead, the off to the side up high cam or whatever. I'm going to explore different ideas and different camera angles, but I'm still getting used to what camera to look into now. So that was the right foot lead. The difference is I'm playing way more bass drum notes with my right foot than my left if I'm always leading with the right foot. I'm just kind of peppering in that left foot. And so the reason why I kind of want to stay away from that is because I want to give my feet equal time. Whatever I'm playing, whatever I'm doing in my practice time, if I'm doing a song, if I'm doing a cover, I want to keep that left foot in the mix. I don't want it to be, because for the longest time, the left foot, and I've said this over and over again, the left foot or the left side of my body is kind of useless because it doesn't get the same amount of work that the right side of my body does. So when I'm faced with a situation like this, I want to really work that left foot at least as much as the right foot, if not more. So what I should try to do, right, if to follow my own logic, is to left foot lead all the time. And then that would give my left foot way more notes than my right foot. I'm going to try that now. Okay, so once I started to get the idea of what I'm actually trying to do, I was able to get that left foot rolling. And basically this pattern, all I'm doing is you're playing steady left foots or steady right foots. Steady right foot kick or steady left foot kick. And every third note, that right kick is coming in or the left kick is coming in. So I'm going to do it slow because I need to do it slow. But this is what will happen. You'll hear how many left, right, if I'm going, so that's my left. right, 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 right. So what I need to do anyway is get that left foot going at a steady pace, and then just popping that right foot in there, and on the uhs. E and a 3, E and a 4. Yeah, so on all the uhs. 1 E, hold on. All right, so what I'm doing is eighth notes with the left foot, and I'm doing the 16th note with the right foot on every beat. So that's really the figure that I'm doing with the bass drum. And I have to work on this and get this faster. But now that I've realized that I want to start probably working my left foot more, I will start doing all the eighth notes with the left foot. If you wanted to reverse it and do this pattern, all the eighth notes would be played with your right foot, and then the left foot would be doing all of the uhs, or the last 16th note of each beat. Okay, so there you have it. As you can hear, just after a few minutes, my left foot is much more comfortable playing those eighth notes, and then popping that of each beat in with the right foot. So that's a great way to start to build up the strength and speed of your left foot. My left foot feels like mush when I try to do it alone, when I try to do beats and things, and it's getting better because I've been working on it. But what I'll do is I'll play my regular rock beats, I'll play my favorite songs with my left foot on the bass drum, using the left pedal to hit that bass drum. And that gives me more work with my left foot. It's just basically one of the ways I found to really work on that left foot speed, the strength, the endurance of the left foot, the coordination of the left foot, the control of the left foot, the power of the left foot, all by just switching my bass drum foot to the left side. If you have a double pedal, it's easier to do that. If you don't have a double pedal and you really want to commit to this, shift your bass drum over to the left side. And you could keep your hi-hat closed or just use the ride to keep time and play your bass drums with your left foot. Do that for a month, do that for a week, see how it feels. And I guarantee you, after you start to do that, you're going to really feel a difference in your left foot. Like I said, even after a few minutes, I feel better with this left foot. So the song is, for those of you who are interested, Tribute to the Fallen by I keep wanting to say, maybe it is, I don't know, but it's a tribute to the fallen. I have it on my playlist if I want to look this up real quick. Oh, there it is, by Killswitch Engage. There you go. All right, so that's kind of how I work on my stuff. The rest of the song is pretty straightforward. It's a really cool song, but there are some double bass parts that require a little more attention because of the patterns that are being played there, right? And like I said, if you're working on your double bass and you want to start really excelling at your double bass, single strokes, right? Straight 16th notes or straight 8th notes, whatever you want to do, with your feet, and then graduate your speed, right? Increase your speed. Once you do that, I would suggest doing 16th note, straight 16th note patterns, resting each 16th note in a group, and then eventually two of the 16th notes in the group in different places so that you can get different patterns out of it. If you're going to do, let's say, straight 16th notes, and then you want to rest the first note, you want to rest the downbeat of each 16th note pattern, then you'll be playing E and a, E and a, E and a, E and a, or like I was doing, you rest the E and you play 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a, being careful to not only alternate, but left foot lead as well as right foot lead. Those three different ways to approach that same pattern is going to really help you develop a balanced approach on your double bass. Then I would absolutely recommend going to 16th note triplets or 8th note triplets, because believe it or not, sometimes it's harder to play slow than it is to play fast, especially with double bass, because the tendency is you may be leaning one way or the other, forward or back, and it may impact how slowly you can play. So as long as your balance is good and you're sitting straight up over that throne, and you're not leaning in any direction, you can get a nice, slow, steady double bass pattern. So that's what I wanted to talk about as far as what I'm working on and how I approach doing covers. But really, the topic I wanted to talk about today is I realized something as I'm teaching. So as you know, I've been teaching for 12 years or so, maybe even more. And I teach a lot of young students. I teach a lot of teenage students and some adults. But mostly, actually, it's like a 50-50 split boys to girls. Not that that matters, but I just think it's really, really cool to see the young ladies stepping up and wanting to play drums. At earlier and earlier age, too. I have she's got to be maybe 5. And she has an incredible ear and amazing timing. And when I play certain songs for her, she's already banging out the bass drum patterns like exactly right. So she's in the right place. But when I'm teaching my students, sometimes I have to realize, wow, they are in a drum lesson for the first time. Now they might be used to classroom learning and learning from a teacher and listening or not listening, whatever they do when they're young in school. But a lesson, a one-on-one drum lesson, is very, very different. And what I realized and had to kind of acknowledge is the fact that, you know what? These kids may not know how to learn. These kids may not know how to get something out of a drum lesson, learn in a drum lesson, what to do. So over the years, I've developed my techniques to really try to explain to them how this works. It's you and me in a room. So what's supposed to happen? We're going to have fun. Absolutely, that's number one. But I'm going to show you things. I'm going to teach you things. And then you're going to try to do them. And then you're going to try to do them again and again and again and again. And through that repetition, you are going to eventually get better at it. I use the analogy often with sports, because a lot of my students will play sports. The younger ones will play multiple sports. And I say to them, do you play a sport? Yes. Okay. Do you practice? Yes. Do you go to practice? Yes. Okay. What do you do at practice? And they tell me, well, we run and we kick the ball a lot, or we do this, we do that. And I say, do you ever do things over and over again? Yes. Okay. Because that's what practice is about. No matter what you're practicing, practice is about repetition. Practice is about working on your technique and getting better, a little bit better each time you do it. So I like that sports analogy, but I've realized that I need to explain to my students, especially the younger ones, how drum lessons work. We go over things here. You go home and you work on the things that we talked about here. Now, I understand that it may be a tall order in some cases to have your students practicing at home, especially when they're young. But that's something that I like to kind of reinforce gently with them in the beginning, so that they get used to this idea that when you come to lessons, we can have fun, yes, but then after that, you need to kind of work on the things that we've done in lessons so you can remember them for the next time. So just keep in mind, if you're a teacher out there, if you're just starting out, or even if you've been in the game for a while, just think about that concept that we really need to spell it out for our younger students, and really all of our students. We really need to spell out how this whole thing works. How does it work to be in a drum lesson? What happens and how do we learn best? And how do we have the most fun? I realize that I have to tell them, the better you get, the more fun it'll be. Because if they're struggling with going over some exercises or things like that because they're just starting out, I have to reassure them, listen, when you get better at this and you get faster at this, we're going to be able to play a lot of songs. And if we learn these basic beats, we're going to be able to play a whole bunch of songs right off the bat. So work on that, because the better you get, the more fun we're going to have in lessons and the more things I can teach you. So sometimes, those things have to be explained. We can't take it for granted that our students understand the process of going through a drum lesson and the process of learning an instrument. So keep that in mind, guys, when you are out there teaching your students. Let me see, do we have any? Okay, here we go. All right, cool. So I think that is what I wanted to convey to you guys today. I want to thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you like this close-up cam of this, like if you want to see this, or if we should keep our distance, you know what I'm saying? But stay tuned for more changes over here in the Mark Z Drumcast. If you want to join the community, go ahead to my Patreon at Mark Z Drums on Patreon. And there is a free option. You can sign up for free. You can check out what's going on. If you do decide to sign up and become a member, or sign up and become a paid member, you could look forward to a sticker. Stickers are coming, and you can ask for your own personalized drum cover, and I will record it for you and send it along on the Patreon, where only you'll be able to see it, and that'll be yours. That'll be my gift to you. So besides supporting me here at Mark Z Drums and what I'm doing, you can get a couple of other extra added perks, and those will, as we grow the community, those perks will become more and more, and we will have a lot of fun moving forward. See, I can't see. Hey, what's up? I can't see the monitor. I moved my lights a little bit of behind the scenes insider stuff that you can only get here at Mark Z Drumcast. Come a little closer. Let me tell you what happened. So I changed my lighting a little bit, and now one of my lights is in the way of my monitor, so it's hard to see the comments. And so I have on my big monitor, I have the Restream page up. But what ended up happening was that the Restream page, the video and the chat is all the way to the right behind the light, and I can't figure out how to maximize that screen. One of these days I'll be able to do it. No, that's not it, right? So we'll work on that another time. But whoever that is, I'm glad you're back. Let me just say sup to you. And I want to know where you are. So I guess you're on Twitch. Hey, thank you for tuning in. I'm sorry, I just got distracted because I want to look on here and see what exactly is up. All right, very cool. I've got a couple of lessons today. By the way, just for you people who are local and are on Long Island in New York, go ahead and check out my website. Go ahead and check out my website, MarkZDrums.com. Jump on my YouTube channel, Mark Zapata Drums on YouTube, my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook. You can find me, Mark Z Drums. It should not be difficult to find. And you can hit me up about lessons. I do private lessons. I come to your home. I do virtual lessons if you need. I have a multi-camera setup here. So the lessons we can do pretty much almost like we're in person, virtually. Or you can come here to the Mark Z Drum Studios and we can do lessons here. I will also travel to studios. I have a student that I teach virtually, and then every couple of weeks we go to a studio and we have a live in-person lesson with drums So whatever your limitations are, if you don't have drums, if you don't have a place to practice, if you can't make that much noise, at Mark Z Drums, we have options for you. We have ways to help. See, I'm looking at the wrong camera again. We have options. We have ways to help. So hit me up on any of my socials, MarkZDrums.com, and say hello and let's work something out. Let's get you on some drum lessons. All right, everybody. Thank you. Have a great weekend. It's Friday. It's going to be an awesome weekend. It is Super Bowl weekend. I don't care, but I'm going to a Super Bowl party and it's going to be super fun. I kind of like when I don't have a rooting interest in the Super Bowl or any football games because then I can relax. But everybody enjoy Super Bowl weekend. Enjoy Taylor Swift, and I will see you soon. Watch out for that Deadpool 3 trailer that's happening during the Super Bowl. And I'll see you next week on Monday.